friends, it's Liam Maynard here with CashIsTheAnswer.com, and today we're talking about 17 ways to generate massive traffic. Let's get started. So, strategy number one, write about what people are actually interested in. So, this might seem obvious, but what a lot of people do is they will essentially write about whatever they feel like writing about without much concern to what people actually search for or share or might actually be rankable or anything of that nature. So one of the first things that you want to do is actually start paying attention to what people are actually interested in, and there's a few ways of doing that. You can check out the Google Keyword Planner, which will tell you the search volumes. There's a tool called Buzzsumo, which will tell you what content is being shared the most. This should give you a good idea. I also like KW Finder, which you can plug in your keywords and it has color coding for idiots. So green means you can probably rank for it, usually longer tail keywords. A long tail keyword being just one with multiple words. So you want to start paying attention to stuff like that first and foremost, and not just wing it and hope for the best, right? Likewise, with number two, unique headlines. So if you're writing about something that, many other people before you have probably written similar things about, you want yours to stand out a bit. You want the curiosity factor. So don't just put, a generic title headline that, probably a bunch of other people have already used. You want to try and come up with something that will generate curiosity and is basically not boring, right? So people will read the headline and they'll want to know more about it. So you can't just put weight loss. You have to actually have a good headline for all of your posts. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Now, Pinterest is an awesome site. And as well as being a social media platform, it's also a search engine. And you can get a lot of traffic from Pinterest. But one of the ways you need to think about Pinterest is, because it's a search engine, you need to do some SEO. Now with Google, you wouldn't try and rank for short key phrases because they're usually impossible to rank for. But with Pinterest, what you do is you essentially take some of these keywords that you're trying to rank for and you put them in the description, and you really actually do want to do the opposite of what you do with Google, because you can use short key phrases. In fact, Pinterest will get confused if you try and be too fancy with it. So tell them specifically what it's about in your boards, in your pins, in your descriptions, and just use some SEO. There's more information on our blog about that, and there's stuff all over YouTube about Pinterest as well. So put some attention to SEO. You can also use group boards. Once you get rolling on Pinterest, you can use group boards as well with your pins. So essentially, whenever you have a new blog post or a series of them, you can get pins, and you can get 2 or 3 different kinds of pins about the same article, right? And because Pinterest understands that it's easier to create a pin than it is to create more content, so you can actually have several pins about the same article, just make the pins different, but they can link to the same page. And then you just do the same SEO strategy you were doing before. So Pinterest, don't forget about that. Next, Facebook groups. Facebook groups are an awesome way to get traffic, but you have to actually contribute to the group. You want to talk to people in the group. You want to, comment. You want to reply to people. You want to actually add value, which is going to be a common theme among a lot of these strategies. But you want to add value here. One thing you can do is, if you get to know the administrator, you can, or one of the admins, you can basically ask their opinion about a topic and then use some of their suggestions in your next blog post, and then send them the blog post. Hey, you check this out, use some of your suggestions here, suggest that they, share it if they like it, and that's one way to start getting some traffic. Now, Twitter, which is one of the top 10 sites in the world, you don't want to forget about that. There's lots of traffic you can get from Twitter. A number of strategies people use. One is just the basic strategy of tweeting, 8 or 10 times a day. and using hashtags. That's one thing you can do. Something else people do in conjunction with that is just tag other people, so that it's not just the hashtag, you're tagging other people in their profiles, because then your tweet gets shared with their audience. So that's one way of getting some exposure. But ultimately, you want other people to be sharing your content. I mean, obviously, to build up your own Twitter following, you can just run ads to build up your own Twitter following, but you want people to share your content. And one way of doing that is there's a plugin, Click to Tweet. So you can literally put this in your blog post, so that if people like the article that you've written, they can share it easily with just one click, which is what people want because people are lazy. So if you use that, that's one way of getting some more followers and some more exposure via Twitter. Now YouTube, which is the second highest search engine and social media platform, YouTube is a gold mine of traffic, right? But you want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. It takes a while to get monetized on YouTube, but to actually rank something on YouTube, you want to have the keywords in the title, the description, and the tags. You want to have a decent mini article in the description. You don't just want to have 2 sentences. You want to actually fill it out a bit more and have your keywords in there as well for the on-page optimization. You can also just have the whole YouTube video transcribed. That's one way of doing it. But you want to do that, and then you can actually just send some links from sites like Fiverr, Conquer, etc. to your channel, to the videos, etc. We've done that quite a few times to rank things. So you can do that in terms of ranking, but you want to make sure that you have in your description links to your blog, links to your lead capture pages, to build up an email list to get more traffic to your sites. Now, 7 would be request that other people, other bloggers, share your content. So this might seem like, hitting it over the head, so to speak, and it sort of is, but if you've got a post that's already getting traction, what you can do is basically just write to other bloggers and request that they share it, and you don't have to worry about being too aggressive with this, because this is how it's done. People do it all the time. So you can actually go back to Buzzsumo, the tool we mentioned earlier, and there's a feature there. If you look into the topics, you can look in view shares, and you can see who shared various pieces of content. And so if you check those people out and see that they have a good following, then you can just basically use that as a barometer and reach out to these people and ask them to share your content. And you're also building a relationship with these people, hopefully at the same time, so that can work out well. Guest blogging. Now, you want to make sure that you are, initially you can do this on any blog. Just reach out to people and ask if you can write a blog post for them. Each blog is going to have its own rules as to whether they allow guest posting or not, guest blogging or not, whether and what they want, etc. So you're going to need to check out the individual circumstances. But you can go to Moz and get the free Moz. It's a Chrome extension, and that will give you a number of metrics. One of them is DA, for domain authority. So look for a DA of 10 or more, and that will kind of narrow down in your niche, obviously, and that will kind of narrow down what blogs you might want to go for. Now, email marketing. In addition to using this to actually promote your products and services, and you should be doing that absolutely, because then you're building up an asset, but you can use email marketing to get traffic too. So when you write to people on your list, you can obviously be sending them your blog content, and then a lot of them will actually go check out the posts that you suggested. So that's one way of getting traffic. And to get an email list, you're going to have a lead magnet. If you have a blog, then make sure that the header actually has a call to action, and it's not just a pretty picture, because you want people to actually sign up. They should have a button right on the header, click here, or grab your, I think ours says send us the videos or something like that. So you want to do that. You want to have a lead capture page and be actively trying to build up your email list, because there's lots of money in email marketing. Now, infographics. This is one people don't talk about too much, but it's essentially a tutorial sized picture, really. I mean, you've probably seen them around. We've got a few in our business as well, but an infographic is essentially, it has a link back to, there's code attached to it, so it has a link back to your site. So you can share these on platforms. You can even go, there are services that will even distribute them for you to a multitude of sites, or people share them and it's got a link back to your site. It also improves the overall content of your posts, so it's just a good thing to do. Now, forum posting, which I didn't think of much of to begin with, there's actually a tremendous amount of traffic on forums. So what you want to do is use the same Moz domain authority trick that we used before. So get the Moz toolbar, look for the domain authority of the forums, and that's how you choose which ones you want to go for. Obviously, ones which would be in your same niche or thereabouts. And you want to start adding some value here as well. So you want to reply to people's comments. You want to actually answer questions and add value and things of that nature, and not just be a leech, because that won't work out too well. But if you do this consistently, then you'll get some traffic. You also obviously want to make sure that this forum allows you to have links in some way. You don't want to overdo this, but you want to make sure that they can allow you to have links. You can see if they'll, sometimes it's attached to your profile, and other times you can just link directly in your posts there, but make sure that you can actually leave a link. Now, Reddit is very similar to the forum posts. The thing you want to make sure with Reddit, if you get traffic from Reddit and you actually start to get some exposure there, it can be a tremendous amount of traffic from that site because it's massive. Redditors, though, they hate marketers. So all of the comments we made about adding value and answering people's questions and things like that, that goes doubly for Reddit. Now, roundup posts. Roundup posts are basically showcasing different, it's just a post that showcases different strategies. So, 20 bloggers that are making 10,000 or more a month, right? Which isn't actually that hard. But you want to, but if posts like that, for example, and then what you can actually do if you've got a post of that nature is you can go to those bloggers and you can, much like in some of our previous comments, you can actually reach out to them directly and say, hey, we featured you in this post, would you mind sharing it, that type of thing. And you're also, again, trying to build up a relationship with people who are in your same niche, and then you can help each other out. Blog commenting, very similar to the other ones, blog commenting, but people read these comments, right? And so you want to, again, make sure that if you're replying to comments, if you're making comments on other blogs, then you can actually leave a link, because there's no point in doing it if you can't leave a link. So just make sure you're doing that. Now, LinkedIn, we've gotten a tremendous amount of business from LinkedIn. So check out LinkedIn groups. Very similar to Facebook groups, except LinkedIn is obviously more of a professional network, so it depends what you're selling, but do check that out too. All the same rules apply. Make sure you, when you're replying, add value, actually participate in the group, get to know the admins if possible, share some of your content where appropriate there, and make sure you can link back to some of your blog posts, etc., from your content in these groups. SlideShare, which is owned by LinkedIn, is another great site. It has about 70 million users. So you want to do some SEO here in terms of the keywords. You want to make sure that the slides are actually very informative. They have various sections, featured slides and top slides of the week or the day or something. So you want to, but if you're going to be on LinkedIn anyway, and you got, a presentation like this one, for example, I could put this on SlideShare. In fact, maybe I should. So you can do things like that, and that will definitely get you some exposure there as well. So if you're doing LinkedIn, check out SlideShare. Now, Mix.com, this last one is just very similar to Pinterest, except it's more of a newbie. So, but it's still a good site, and it's another way to generate some traffic. So with all these ways here, just pick a few of them that make sense to you and start with that, and then run with those. And once you get some organic traffic going up, I would suggest getting to some paid ads. In the link to this description, you will see in our newsletter that we actually will send you a free Facebook ads traffic course, along with a masterclass from John Pemberthy on how to go all the way from the traffic to the irresistible offer to the sales page to getting sales and everything in between. So if you are running any kind of online business, and if you're watching this, you must be, then you need to know how to build sales funnels. So that's free content, the Facebook ads course and the masterclass on funnels. So just sign up for our newsletter so we know where to send your content to, and you can grab all that for free. So hope you find this helpful. Smash the like button, hit that subscribe, hit the bell notification if you're on YouTube there. Otherwise, somewhere around this video, you'll also see it'll either be in the description for the free stuff I just mentioned, or there'll be a sign up form around here somewhere for the newsletter, and we'll send over your free course. So hope you find this helpful. Speak to you soon.